Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner, and welcome to Selling PowerTV. Today we continue our conversation with Jonathan London about a subject I'm fascinated about. Let's talk about how practice makes perfect. Very simple principle.
Sure. As an analogy, quick one, anybody who, if you're in ballet, sports, whatever you do, you have to practice what you want to do, so when you play the game, you execute, or when you're on stage, right? So you need to practice the things you need to be good at when you're really playing, right? Doesn't happen enough.
I remember interviewing Lee Trevino, and he said he was practicing, he hit 1,000 balls a day, day in and day out, until his hands were bleeding.
Every great athlete, practices more, has more drive, they understand. And my theory is, the greatest people in any profession have just mastered the basics and brought them to a new level.
Yes.
I mean, they might have some God-given talent.
And a lot of people say, I want to learn the advanced stuff. And what you're saying is the advanced stuff is doing the basics better. So how do you teach your salespeople, when you're in front of them, how to practice, and what do you do in your class to model that?
People have to see the relevance of what the teaching is. So what we do is, as part of that research that I was sharing with you, is we actually look at the client sales process and the steps of the process, and we integrate the skills, the tools, and the knowledge that you need at each stage of that process to move the sale along.
Okay, give me an example.
A good one based upon yesterday. I need to get to the right level of the person, right? All right, so the skill is prospecting. Well, what knowledge is out there, or what information is out there? Well, I might use Marketo, I might use Constant Contact, I might use some of the LinkedIn.
Those are tools.
So those are the tools, right? And then, so stage one, got to get to the right person who has the most to gain from my offering. So the skill is prospecting, the tools and the knowledge are, in that case, what we mentioned, right? So then the next stage would be, great, you're in front of the person, right? What skill do you need? Good dialogue skills, good interviewing skills, good questioning skills, and then again, what tools and knowledge are available to you that you would want to bring in at that stage. So that's what we teach. So we teach that every stage of the process has skills, knowledge, and tools that you need to be good at. And in our program, we develop that and we teach that so people are applying that throughout the program. So they're learning the skill and applying it against real live opportunities so that they can see the value of it. And then a lot of interaction, a lot of role plays, a lot of case studies, real stuff that they are experiencing every day.
So let's take a scenario that somebody is not very confident when it comes to handling objections, like somebody says, I can't get this cheaper, or your price is too high, and I'm not sure we have that much in the budget. How do you help them overcome the objection or handle the objection?
Great question. All right, so here's my theory. My theory is when people have objections like that, they're in one of three frames of mind. And our job is to get them and move them along. So the first frame of mind is, I don't care what you tell me, you can give it to me, I ain't buying it from you. Well, if that's the case, you probably shouldn't have started to sell in the first place, or you're just a really bad salesperson. So maybe you need to find another career
or find another prospect.
The second stage is, I'm open. The prospects, I'm open. I'm not sure. I'm looking at some other stuff, but you've done a nice enough job to, I can see some value. The third stage is, I'm buying from you. I'm convinced. Now, they might not tell you that, but that's their state of mind. So what I believe as a salespeople, and by focusing, by the way, back to what we were originally talking about, is by focusing on your sweet spot. If you're selling properly, you're constantly diffusing and alleviating and perhaps even eliminating objections people might have because of your knowledge and your approach. So that when they do give you these objections, you have a better way of handling them. So now, how do you handle them? Well, most salespeople, they hear an objection, they panic. So they either overtalk, get defensive, get argumentative. What we teach is acknowledge the objection, so that people...
I understand how you feel. The
I understand how you feel.
It may look high.
Or it's your money.
Right.
Money's an important part of the decision. Sure. Can we talk about this? Can I try to understand what it is in relation to what you've told me is important to you? And then different types of responses. Now, most salespeople give very direct responses. Well, we're worth more. We try to teach that if you can frame your direct response with some kind of analogy or bigger picture that people can experience emotionally, then they receive the direct data in a much better way. But nobody, Superman, you, me, can handle an objection if the person's already made up their mind.
Jonathan, I'd like to thank you for sharing those wonderful ideas. How can people get in touch with you online?
They can get online at ipgtraining.com, or they can email me at jlondon@ipgtraining.com.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerhard.